What's up, UTU Trust Guardians? Welcome to another episode of the UTU Trust Guardian interview series. Here's where we chat with team members, investors, partners, and supporters of UTU to learn more about their backgrounds, why they believe in UTU, and how they're helping to increase trust across the entire internet. Today, we're speaking to another UTU partner. We are here with Nico Verderosa, CEO of Kephi Gallery. What's going on, Nico?
Hello.
So Kephi Gallery is an NFT marketplace where artists from different disciplines can get together to share and monetize their work. It's built on Kardiachain, which means low fees for both sellers and buyers. And we'll let Nico talk a little bit more about that later. And he's going to also dig into his background, how Kephi is different than other NFT marketplaces, and how Kephi and UTU will work together and more. So Nico, welcome. How are things going?
Hey, thank you very much, Mike, for inviting me here. Everything's going well. Super excited to be talking to you and your community and talking a little bit about NFTs in general and Kephi Gallery in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. So just wonder how to structure this. Let's talk a little bit about your background. We'll talk about what's going on with NFTs now, which there's a little bit of craziness, right, going on right now.
Yeah.
And then we will jump into Kephi. I know you've been really busy. I think you had a recent launch and you're working on a ton of things. So we'll dig into that, and then we'll dig into how we'll work together. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right. So let's kick it off. Let's learn a little bit just about your background on a personal and professional level.
Well, I've started on the crypto industry like most people did, first as introduced by Bitcoin itself, and then starting researching a little bit more and sort of like swallowing all the knowledge you have on the cryptocurrency markets. I did some holding, I did some trading, I did everything you could imagine in the crypto industry. Mm-hmm. But in the past few years, I've started to use my skills in the marketing section, the marketing area, and my love for the cryptocurrencies to start to work for different industries and projects that they want to be known in different areas, particularly where I'm from, Latin America. So I've been in the past, I've been head of partnerships of Prime XBT, a very known broker. I worked for some Forex brokers as well. I've worked for individual crypto projects that sought out, this sort of services. And most recently, from last year to today, I've been working on my own project I call it my own because it was my idea with my co-founder, but it's not really mine. It's we are like 13 people working on it. Wow. Full time, including advisors, of course. And so the project has exceeded my own idea and has become something else right now. And I'm super happy that it has. And also, from the NFT point of view, it's another one of my passions, not the NFT per se, because it's a relatively new concept, but the arts. I've always enjoyed working somewhere regarding artistic presentations or theater plays and producing them. So it's a mixture of both of my loves, crypto and art.
Very cool. Yeah, so let's jump into NFT for those that don't know, or maybe some people know it for a very specific definition of it, but in general, how do you define an NFT?
Well, I would define an NFT as a one of a kind asset in the digital world that can be traded, bought, sold like any other kind of asset. I don't like to go into a lot of specifics because that tends to, get people lost. But what you have to consider about NFTs is that one NFT cannot be traded for another NFT at the same level. The example is, it's easy. If you have one Bitcoin right now, and I have one Bitcoin, you send me your Bitcoin and I send you mine, and we are even. We go our separate ways and we're happy.
Right.
With an NFT, it doesn't happen this way because there's an intrinsic value of each of the NFTs for many different reasons. So it's not the same to have one NFT, say, of any blockchain and trade it for another NFT of that same blockchain. Right. It's definitely not the same. Right. And this opens the doors for many use cases. Art's one of them, but not the only one.
Yeah. So like things like a title to a house or a car, right? That like no one else can have but you. Something can be tokenized as an NFT, right?
Exactly. It opens the door again to tokenization of many things of the real world, and also things that are born digital. So in essence, an NFT is like a certificate of ownership of something. Gotcha. Being virtual or physical.
Gotcha. Okay, great definition. So, we talked about NFTs most closely linked to art, and that's where your passion lies. And the NFT market right now, it's August 10th, we're recording this, is insane right now. It is crazy. There's CryptoPunks, apes, penguins, like fast food, NFTs, and they're selling for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, insane amounts of money. Yeah. Can you explain, this is your life, your passion, your work right now. Like, what's going on here? Why is today different than a few months ago versus a few years ago where CryptoKitties first came out? What's going on? What are you seeing here?
Well, a couple of things to keep in mind. One, from the growth of the NFT ecosystem has been quite exponential this past year or so. Particularly with news like those, people selling an NFT for $100,000 or $1 million or whatever. That catches the attention of not only crypto sabis, but also people that are from other fields, like collectors, for example. There's a big market of collectors that, as if it were a baseball card or I don't know if you guys know, in Canada, the Beanie Babies, which were like little bears. Right. People collected those, and sometimes they kept them for years, and then after that they sold them for, I don't know, 20K or whatever. Yeah. When it was $1 originally. So it's a way to speculate with art. It's another way to speculate. Some people like to just have them because to say I've bought the Mona Lisa of NFTs, and some people just keep them for speculation. And what's interesting is that it opens another opportunity for investment that is not directly linked to the price action of Bitcoin. We've seen, after Bitcoin pumped last year and it reached 60K, and then it went down again to 28, 29. All the alts, the alternative coins, and all the other cryptocurrency mostly were affected by that. Yeah. But NFTs were not. And this is because they are they sort of run on a different level. They are the value that they have is directly linked to the reputation of the artist. So it's a good way to hedge your investments. You can have some fungible tokens, like I don't know, Ethereum or any other kind of cryptocurrency, or you can have some non-fungible tokens and have a little basket, a little portfolio to for the years to come.
Yeah, interesting. Never really heard that take about getting exposure to crypto but not being linked to Bitcoin. That's a definite insight. But do you think we're like still at such an early stage where some of these NFTs are getting minted are like this is like like the NFT Picasso early works, or are we thinking like, man, these things are selling for millions of dollars like days after they get minted, and that's just that's just unsustainable, or maybe a little bit of both? What do you think?
I think there's a little bit of both. I think we'll find eventually some world-known artist on the NFT world, on the NFT crypto sphere. But also, I think there's a lot of I'm not gonna say it's unsustainable, but what I will say is sometimes these are marketing strategies, because as you know, NFTs sell decentralized mostly. So you could have a few Bitcoin or a few Ethereum or a few BNB roaming around some wallet, and you buy your own NFT. And so then it's like, whatever platform you use, it says, oh, this particular little piece was sold for 500K. But you could have done it yourself. It could be a marketing strategy. I'm not saying it's always like that. Of course, of course some of the pieces sell for high prices. And this is because that particular artist has the reputation to sell high, and then people are going to be selling those pieces even higher than they originally bought. It's not the same thing to buy a Picasso right now than to buy when Picasso was alive. The same thing applies here. Perhaps when CryptoPunk stops drawing NFTs or disappears or whatever, his art is gonna worth 10 times what's now on the market.
You just don't know, because art is such a subjective thing, right? Looking at quality of work in art is extremely subjective to the eye of the beholder. So nonetheless, it is extremely interesting times in the NFT world. So you're right in the middle of it with Kephi Gallery. So tell us what Kephi is, and how you're different than other NFT marketplaces out there.
Well, Kephi Gallery, what we're building is a cross-chain NFT marketplace with really, really low fees. So what we are aiming to do two things with Kephi Gallery. One of them is deliver a product, or deliver a marketplace where people can mint their NFTs and sell them without having to worry about paying ridiculous fees like mostly happens on the Ethereum network. When we first came up with the idea of Kephi, we were looking at the alternatives that people have to mint NFTs, and they were mostly on Ethereum. And at the time, Ethereum was really high, and you were paying around $100 to mint one NFT. And that hit us really hard. That made a click on us, because artists, I mean, no one likes to pay those high fees, but especially an artist who's starting on this digital world, they will not want to, spend $100 to just mint one of his work, and then maybe he won't sell it for a long time, or maybe ever. And that also limits them on the amount of works of pieces that they can mint. So that was one of the main topics at first. The other one was using the cross-chain capabilities that in this case Kardiachain allows, which is really awesome too, because you'll be able to mint with low fees by paying with Kai, for example, and then sell it for USDT or BNB or Ethereum, even if you wanted, different coins or tokens that will be connected to the Kardiachain dual nodes. I had to actually add also that we are not only deploying our marketplace on Kardiachain, but also on Binance Smart Chain, so people can actually use their MetaMask as well to create and mint NFTs paying with BNB. And the other thing that we are doing is that we are aiming for this not only to be a marketplace, but also a proper gallery where it will be easy for artists to mint their work and set them into different categories, not only images, but also music, video clips, all kinds of digital files, and all kind of art. And also for collectors to be able to find the kind of works that they want to buy. You can see that in general marketplaces are just that. They're just like a screen where they just throw stuff at you and you decide if you like it or not. And it's really hard to find stuff. Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah. So we are working on making that experience a lot better for artists and collectors.
Well, that's a perfect segue into how we'll work together. So tell us a little bit more about how UTU is going to help you do that.
Well, we were really happy when we talked about partnering up, because we found in the UTU Trust technology the way to actually do this, what I just explained. So, for example, by integrating the UTU APIs into our gallery, the users will get a personalized experience and personalized recommendations and ratings from similar buyers and sellers, and they have a better experience and at finding what they want to buy, and the artist finding the right buyer for them. For example, there's going to be the ability to add badges and video stories that will improve the quality of reviews that a user can send about a particular artist or a particular work of any of the artists, and the buyers will have a really a better and improved customer experience, so they can make a better decision on what they want to buy. I think this kind of tools will make our gallery a trustworthy environment for all.
Yeah, talking about the subjectivity of art, I think it's going to be really interesting to be able to find kind of those connections and those trends within like what people's tastes may be with art, and that can be done with like metadata about some of the pieces, and obviously the categories like music versus versus still pieces versus video, but I think there's a lot of maybe like subconscious tastes that we may not be able to verbalize, but it's really only shown through our behaviors of like the art pieces that we like, and then on Kephi, the art pieces that people will buy or people will browse through. So I think that's really interesting, because the more I have some conversations with NFT buyers, NFT sellers, and people who are building galleries, and they find that the curation is really difficult because there's so much out there, and a lot of people just have the different tastes, but really kind of reining that in to be able to curate, provide recommendations is something that's going to be really valuable. And I think you've articulated that really well.
Yeah, and also it's a good thing to say that because we will not have any sort of restriction for people to mint,
right.
The fees will be low, and also we won't have invitations for the platform. Will be everyone who has a wallet can mint. So this means that we'll have a lot of volume, and in order to not to get that too messy, we need this sort of tools. And imagine also, for example, that the Trust API could allow Kephi Gallery to connect to the social platforms of the users if the users allow it.
Yeah.
And this will enhance that personalized experience as well. So
yeah,
we don't want just because we have a lot of volume of NFTs, we don't want it to get too messy, and we need this sort of tools to make a better experience for everyone. It's something that I think it's the key to our marketplace.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at just the real world art, right, with museums, like they hire curators, right? To understand what their audience likes, and then bring in artists that they think they may fit. This is going to be the digital version of that, and super exciting. So I know. Talk a little bit about.
It's sort of like every user will become its own curator with the use of the API of the Trust API, because the platform will know what the user wants, basically.
That's absolutely right. And based on their connections and their behaviors and their purchases, they'll be able to kind of help others and curate for others based on their connections. So
exactly.
Yeah, super cool, man. The more we're talking about it, the more I'm excited to get started on integrating. But yeah, super awesome. So I know you've had a really busy past couple of months. I know you talk a little about what you've been doing and some of the things you're working on, and also what's your roadmap in coming in the coming.
Well, we've completed successfully our private rounds, our public sales. We launched both on Kardiachain and on Binance Smart Chain.
Congratulations.
Our Kephi token, and that went really well, with a lot of good impact on the community, lots of support. We have a really loyal community right from the start, which is really amazing, because they are our early supporters and needs that. And so that right now we are actually developing our platform, which is going to be launched on early Q4. And in the meantime, we've been creating more partnerships in different areas. For example, a lot of the new partners come from the NFT gaming area, which is another really popular
big
area to discover related to NFTs. And we are developing our own loyalty program, which is going to be addressed in our white paper in this quarter, where we'll award users for buying and selling NFTs in our platform with our own token, with our own Kephi token. So they'll be able to sort of farm our token or mine it, if you will, by using the platform. And also developing a lot of use cases for the token itself, for people to actually use the token. For example, lowering their fees, or some artist who wants his works stand out, he will be able to stake our token and appear on Kephi Gallery's feature collection. We've also been partnering up with a lot of different crypto actors who want to have their own collection in our gallery. So, for example, you'll be able to find pets from my DeFi pet, or warriors from Pharaohland that you'll be able to buy from our gallery and use it in their games, and so on. We have a big roadmap ahead of us. I'm not gonna lie. It's a quite challenging roadmap. Of course, there's also the listing on centralized exchanges and everything that regarding to the token itself. But I'm one to think that the token is going to be on how the future of the token progresses. It's going to go hand in hand or side by side with the development of the platform itself. So we're not worried about that. We have a really big team behind us and everything. Everyone has its own role and everyone's working to deliver a big product or a really good product in the end. For example, our music department is talking to different musicians, particularly in Latin America, that want to have their own NFT albums or NFT singles launch in our platform. So when we actually launch, it's going to be a big one.
Nice. Lots on that roadmap. Super exciting. Yeah, definitely tracking that. And yeah, we can't wait to integrate, because all the stuff that you're talking about with those with like the staking and the activity on platform, that's all data that helps us help curate your work and curate the pieces of art on Kephi. So that'll only help us do our jobs better to help you. So yeah.
And we'll be integrating a lot of different activities in the platform as well eventually, not only buying and selling NFTs, but some other side activities that people can do, because people like to actually play, people like to have fun also, not only speculate with buying or selling. And we want to bring that sort of gaming or playful activities within the platform.
Yeah,
that's on the longer term, because first we want to focus on a good marketplace, a good gallery, but eventually we'll have more products related to that.
Of course. Really excited to see everything that's coming up. And like you're our first NFT marketplace partner, so we're excited to work together, and we should, I think we'll definitely look into doing some some NFT stuff together. So cool. Nico, you ready to move on to the quickfire questions?
Let's go for it. Yeah.
All right, so here's where I'll ask you 3 questions in succession to learn more about you. Number 1, tell us something unique and interesting about you that not many people may know.
Well, I did mention that I like the arts. I like arts in particularly, but what I didn't mention is that in my younger age, and up to quite recently, actually, I've done a lot of acting, theater mostly. So that's something unique, something unique that people sometimes don't know. Most people do know this, but some don't, that I'm also a lawyer. So it's like I do a lot of things. I consider myself one of these people that can do most of the things that they are set in front of me. I can do them.
That's great. I once took a improv class.
Well, improv is great. I love the improv.
It was one of the most difficult, uncomfortable things I've ever done, because you just.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to, get you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and build that muscle, that discomfort muscle, right? To get you more. Yeah. I mean, I think it really helped in just being able to, think on the fly, adapt. So yeah, I mean,
It
acting
actually
and
works on many levels, and then after that, you use it in a lot of different scenarios,
yeah, it
even
becomes
when
second
running
nature.
a business, because
Yeah,
sometimes your plan, sometimes you have a plan ahead of you,
right.
and something changes that you have to
Always.
improvise.
Yeah,
And that's when it clicks. That's when you go, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's not stop and cry because this didn't work out as well as we planned. Let's work around it. So
totally.
it's useful.
Yeah, very, very useful. All right, number two, if you can chat with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh, I guess there's a lot of people, but since you are in the crypto business, I'm not going to be too original with this, I'm sure. But I would actually like to know, to talk to, if it's only one person, to Satoshi Nakamoto.
Mhm.
Uh, not, you know, because he or they or she created a world, created something so much bigger than themselves. And I can actually imagine that Satoshi didn't even think of this, of the way crypto sphere, the crypto ecosystem developed, and all the things that are going to come in the future.
Yeah,
So I would actually like to know what was their side, what was their expectation of this? Why did
yeah,
Satoshi created Bitcoin in the first place?
yeah,
And if he or she or they are happy with the way things are going now.
yeah. Pretty amazing. I mean, it is very hard to envision how much impact he or she would have had, once they're just kind of coding, just coding writing the code down and everything. It is definitely hard to imagine, but it is amazing how far it's come
It's
from
it's it's
Bitcoin.
it's crazy. It's crazy that one code, like coding something, could lead to so many things in the future.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That
unbelievable.
spark.
Yeah. So, all right, last one. What is something that you believe but few others agree with?
Um, this is again, since we are talking about crypto, I'm gonna say something that I believe that most people will not believe it, or maybe even hate
Sure.
me for it. Um, I think Bitcoin is not the future of cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I think Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is gold. Bitcoin is the beginning. Bitcoin is 0.0 of
Mhm.
cryptocurrency,
Yep.
but it's really limited. I don't think we'll see Bitcoin adopted as a massively adopted as a coin anytime soon. Um, but I do see cryptocurrency being mass adopted in general. So, these Bitcoin maximalists that only think Bitcoin is the best and the rest is garbage.
Of course.
I don't even go in there with to discuss with them, because um, it's fanatism, and I think Bitcoin is awesome. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but for example, I don't hold Bitcoin. I don't have
Interesting.
Bitcoin.
Interesting.
I have a lot of currency, a lot of alts. I have a lot of coins in my portfolio,
Yeah.
but no Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, like Bitcoin, I totally agree with you with the maximalism. It is just toxic a lot, and I get they really believe in it, and they truly believe that everything else is inferior. I don't believe that. I think, yeah, I like for what Bitcoin is, it's perfect for what it is and what it should be, right?
exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But you can't shield, you can't just ignore everything else that's going on and being built, right?
Yeah.
And um and I just think a lot of maximalists don't see that, right? They're kind of blind to it because of their love for Bitcoin. So I'm with you there. I think there's just there are so many interesting projects out there, so many use cases for things that Bitcoin will not do. And it shouldn't do. And it just, frankly, it should not do those things because it
but
should do what
I do see myself in the future. For example, whenever I decide to, stop and relax in life and not even think about trading or investing or anything, if that ever happens, I do see myself cashing out a lot of my cryptocurrency investments in Bitcoin. I think it'll be my reserve, But the reason I don't hold right now is because I think a lot of other projects are going to be doing much better in terms of growth and percentage.
Right. Yeah, got that.
So I'd rather have different coins that will grow a lot more, even if it's a risky scenario, than just hold Bitcoin. But I see myself cashing out in Bitcoin and saying, okay, I have a little stash there reserved for the final portion of my life just to relax. The Caribbean or somewhere like that.
You have a very clear idea of what Bitcoin means to you and how it could be used. And like I said, it's that's what it's good for, and it should stay that way, right? That's what I think. So awesome, Nico. That was a lot of fun. We talked about crypto, we talked about art, and acting. Super cool. So thanks so much for taking part in this interview and telling us your story. So tell the UTU community where they can learn more about Kephi Gallery and yourself.
Of course, yeah. Well, first of all, you can visit us on our site, kephi.io. It's KEPHI.io. Then you can find us as Kephi Gallery on Twitter, Kephi Gallery on Medium, Kephi Gallery on Telegram. We have a community in English. Our main community is in English, and we have some sub-communities, in other languages, Spanish, Persian, Vietnamese, and we are always opening up new communities as we need them. And because we actually want or aim to be a global NFT market, even though our primary goal is Latin America, and we won't neglect other sides of the world, And we're also on Facebook as well as Kephi Gallery. You can find us anywhere, pretty much.
Question: what does Kephi have a meaning?
Kephi has a meaning. Kephi is a Greek word that actually doesn't have a translation directly into any other language, but it entails something like spirit of joy, passion.
Nice.
It's a very artistic concept.
Nice.
And I really liked it when it first came to me. I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is Kephi is that. It's something that you cannot describe, but it's the spark of your own joy and the joy around you to create something cool. And it's also a Greek word, and we are based on Kardiachain that has also Greek etymology. So we were aiming to, sort of intermingle there with their own words. I love when names have meaning and like a real true meaning behind it that's applicable to what you're building. I want to think that every project should be first the idea, and then the name or the identity, and then the rest. Because when you name a project, it's like a son, it's you grow fond of it, and you start talking about it with a name and last name. It's something.
Definitely. Awesome. All right, Trust Guardians, we hope you enjoyed that interview with Nico. Please hit that like button if you did. And of course, hit those subscribe and notification buttons so you won't miss any new interviews. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Nico, thanks so much. What a great conversation. That was so much fun. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me here.
All right, take care.